You think you know the Brown family from Sister Wives? You've seen the drama, the tears, the breakups? But what if I told you the cameras missed everything? What if I told you there was footage, audio, and confessions that TLC never wanted you to see? A hidden truth that would expose every deception, every manipulation, and every heartbreaking confession from the, quote, loyal fourth wife, Robyn Brown herself. This wasn't scripted. This wasn't orchestrated. This was Robyn Brown raw, and it's the footage that ends everything. Hit subscribe because the drama starts now. Welcome everyone, we're diving deep into the biggest scandal to ever rock the world of reality TV. It all started as a peaceful morning shoot at Robyn Brown's Flagstaff home. The cameras were just there for some background shots the mic was never meant to be on, but that morning a mic remained hot, catching Robyn sipping tea on her leather sectional, and what poured from her mouth wasn't just catty gossip, it was incriminating. She ridiculed Janelle's financial woes, scoffed at Kody's emotional shame, and worst of all, she wished her sister wives would simply vanish. Disparagingly sneering, God bless their hearts, with venom dripping from her words. She added, but they can't manage their own children, relationships, or finances. The crew froze. Producers' eyes widened. There was no way to walk this back. Robyn had been exposed, not just as a flawed wife, but as a manipulator playing the long game. When that video reached TLC headquarters, it sent shockwaves. Do they bury it, or risk airing it and blowing up their most infamous cast member's persona? They didn't need to choose. A junior editor leaked it to a tabloid blog, and the internet went wild. Hashtags like Robyn Exposed and Sister Wives Scandal clogged Reddit forums, TikTok comments, and YouTube analyses. The impact on the family was immediate and devastating. Janelle watched the clip sent to her by her son Logan. Her hands shook, and she sat mute for 10 minutes, gazing blankly. Mary, at a business retreat in Utah, first laughed in disbelief, then wept. That evening, she posted an ambiguous Instagram quote, "A wolf in sheep's clothing is still a wolf even if she cries." The public was outraged and TLC panicked. Kody publicly denounced the clip, telling producers, "You're distorting things." But in private, he fumed. Robyn had embarrassed him beyond all dignity. Even at home, tension hung heavy. Kody retreated to a spare room and the children fell silent. Robyn's strongest defenders, Dayton and Aurora, were appalled. "Mom, why did you say that?" Aurora asked. Dayton, typically taciturn, told TLC, "The truth about my mother is finally out. She's not who she pretends to be." But the revelations didn't stop there. Another leak emerged, an unreleased Season 18 confessional. Robyn's voice, now devoid of any pretense. "I wish Christine would stop breaking things. I wish Mary would just release. I wish Janelle would finally acknowledge she doesn't belong." This wasn't passive aggression anymore. It was poison. The charade ended. Fans were furious. The victim's disguise slipped, showing someone calculated, cold, and brutally mean. Under tremendous pressure, TLC took a drastic step. They issued a public statement affirming the leaks were not fake and launched a 3-part special, Unscripted, The Truth Behind Sister Wives. Robyn said no to participating. Kody weighed his options, but Mary and Janelle said yes. Christine, who initially didn't intend to return, changed her mind after watching the video. Christine arrived at the studio, collected and seething. She explained to the moderator, "That video where she called Janelle pathetic and Kody fake grieving, that was my breaking point." She continued, "For years, I was labeled the problem, but Robyn lied. She repeatedly lied. She used her tears as weapons." Mary cried, Janelle solemnly nodded, and Christine gazed into the camera. "Robyn, you tore this family apart with your compulsion to control Kody, and the worst part, it succeeded." Kody later strolled onto set alone, tired, admitting he denied watching the video at first, but finally confessed. "She lied to me, to them, to everyone." The reunion concluded, but the aftermath was just beginning. TLC turned their attention elsewhere. No more Kody, no more Robyn. They introduced a new program, Sister Strong, featuring Mary, Janelle, and Christine, focusing on their lives after polygamy, their recovery, and their reality. Every episode addressed their healing, their kids, their business endeavors, and their newfound happiness. Mary found love again. Janelle started a nonprofit assisting women out of spiritual abuse, and Christine, now married to David Woolley, conducted retreats for survivors. Meanwhile, Robyn kept quiet. Then came the bombshell. She filed a suit against TLC for $3.5 million, citing defamation, accusing the tapes of being edited and malicious. Kody did the same. But TLC was prepared. They showed up with contracts, emails, and internal memos illustrating Robyn badgering producers, spinning stories, and even requesting Kody's children only be taped if they were positive. The court dismissed the case. Robyn collapsed on the witness stand, claiming Christine manipulated and brainwashed her kids, but the judge interrupted, stating, "Ma'am, your daughters are grown women. They testified honestly. That's not slander. That's a fact." Kody sat quietly, head in hands. After the trial, TLC broadcast a 2-hour Sister Strong live special. Robyn made one last attempt at control. A live Instagram stream, puffy and crying, claiming she was edited to be evil, and that TLC warped everything. She blamed the other wives and even her children. But the internet wasn't buying it, especially when her own daughters pushed back. A different account, The Truth from Inside, posted audio of Robyn preparing to cry for the camera, where she was heard saying, "People eat that up." Then Aurora posted her own clip, stating, "She flips when the cameras are on. I don't even recognize her anymore." Robyn's social media went silent, and TLC eliminated her from all official cast bios. Weeks later, Kody was caught whispering to producers, his mic open, "She lied to me. I don't know who I married." But the coup de grace was Robyn's book, The Sacred Heart, a memoir promising betrayal, motherhood, and persecution. The backlash was immediate. #SacredLie trended. Advanced readers were appalled as she accused Christine of spiritual sabotage, called Janelle money-hungry, and said Mary emotionally abused her, even blaming her own daughters. Then, voice messages, uploaded by mistake onto YouTube, revealed Robyn's darkest thoughts. Threats against TLC, blackmail, a cold, calculating voice declaring, "They better not phase me out. I held this show together. I sold those tears." It was clear that TLC was moving on to other things, but what of Robyn's daughters? They were ascending. A 6-part special, Breaking the Pattern, starring Brianna and Aurora, was in the works. It detailed their recovery path, with Christine, Janelle, and Mary leading them. The cycle had ended. The truth had spoken. The special opened on raw, handheld footage of the sisters paging through childhood diaries and dog-eared scripts. Aurora described being told by their mom never to trust them, that Christine was jealous, that Janelle was dangerous, that Mary was manipulative, and we believed it because we were kids. Brianna, voice shaking, continued, "But we didn't realize we were just pawns on her board. She wasn't keeping us safe. She was keeping her control." The admissions came in waves. They spoke of how Robyn rehearsed her confessionals with them the night before filming, coached them on what to say about the other wives, and would reward emotional compliance with praise but punish dissent with isolation and guilt. "We were raised on manipulation," Brianna said, tears falling. "But now we're done." Robyn, still on the run, tried one final time with a 17-minute YouTube video titled My Side of the Story. It was dark, more ghostly than penitent. She started softly. "I don't recognize myself in their stories. I never meant to hurt anyone. I only wanted peace." But at the 11-minute mark, a crack appeared. Her eyes narrowed. Her voice deepened. "Christine poisoned them against me. I sacrificed everything for this family, and now they discard me like garbage. You want the truth? The truth is, they were never thankful, never respectful, never faithful." It was no longer an apology. It was a lash-out. Before Robyn could delete it, fans downloaded it. Hours later, dozens more voicemails leaked on Reddit and Twitter. Robyn to Kody, "You let them walk all over me. I saved your show. I saved you. And now you're hiding in Flagstaff like a scared little boy." Robyn to TLC, You want drama, you'll get drama. But don't pretend I'm the villain when I am the story. I am the tears you built this on my back. And, most chillingly, Robyn to Aurora. If you speak one more word to Christine, you're not my daughter anymore, do you understand? I brought you into the world, you owe me your loyalty. The world gasped. National news sources like People, Entertainment Tonight, and the New York Times picked up on the story. Past TLC producers spoke anonymously to reporters, stating Robyn was calculating and knew her tears earned her protection. A week after the voicemail leaks, Kody made a surprise 2020 exclusive appearance. He was gaunt, fatigued. When questioned about the voicemails, he didn't dispute them. I ignored the warning signs, he said quietly. Christine told me, Mary did too, even Janelle. But I was so desperate to feel loved, I let Robyn rewrite my truth. He stopped, staring at the camera. I lost everything for a woman who only ever wanted the spotlight. Then, the bombshell. I'm divorcing her. After 13 years, 5 children, and a worldwide franchise based on their partnership, Kody was leaving Robyn. As Robyn's world fell apart, Christine, Janelle, and Mary stood taller than ever. Christine wrote a memoir, From Obedience to Voice, which went to number 2 on the New York Times bestsellers list. Janelle's nonprofit, Reclaiming Roots, received a $2 million grant. Mary's retreat facility, Haven Rise, opened to full capacity. Sister Strong, Season 3, boldly framed the new season in terms of reclamation. The most poignant moment was the episode, The Daughters Speak, where Aurora, Brianna, Savannah, Aspen, and Mykelti met. Savannah explained, We weren't collateral damage. We were witnesses. We saw everything. Mykelti continued, And now we're done being quiet. Their point was clear. The next generation would not be born into the lie. Robyn's final try was her memoir, Sanctified, My Truth, My Tears, My Family, promising untold spiritual wisdom and misunderstood intentions. Christine tweeted, There's a difference between sharing your truth and rewriting history. Janelle shared a photo of a bonfire captioned, We don't need fiction, we already live the facts. But the publisher held its ground. Then, the first chapter leaked. It was worse than feared. Robyn framed herself as a martyr, asserting Christine weaponized kindness. Janelle was emotionally frigid, and Mary a spiritual weak link. She claimed Kody divorced her because he couldn't handle a, quote, real woman with real faith. But the most incendiary part was her confession. She bullied Kody into divorcing Mary legally so she could be his one and only legal wife, quote, in the name of protecting the children, I told him it was God's will, ... but really it was mine. I was tired of sharing, end quote. That sentence alone made headlines. Bookstores withdrew the title, and the publisher halted shipments. The book became poisonous. Then Robyn's ghostwriter came forward under a pen name with confirmed documents. In an interview with Rolling Stone, the ghostwriter revealed, quote, Robyn did not desire truth, Robyn desired revenge. Whenever I would attempt to balance a paragraph, she'd shriek, no, make them feel sorry for me. She sought to weaponize her victimhood. The ghostwriter added that Robyn would send crying voice memos, and minutes later send another giggling about how fans would, quote, eat this up. It was emotional manipulation. TLC moved rapidly to distance itself, issuing a statement that Robyn Brown's memoir does not represent the values of our network or the facts verified by several independent sources. Just like that, Robyn Brown was completely erased from the franchise. Meanwhile, the Brown women leaned in, not to attack but to educate. In a viral sit-down interview with Oprah, Christine, Janelle, and Mary sat together. Quote, We don't hate Robyn, Janelle replied. We pity her. Mary nodded. She was so terrified of being average that she killed what could have been extraordinary. Christine concluded, You can't construct love on a platform of fear. That line became the quote of the year. Kody, now completely off the grid, was spotted on a fuzzy security camera shopping for groceries, appearing weathered and alone. He retreated to a small cabin in Arizona's wilderness, making one statement through a lawyer, quote, I'm not the man I was. I hope someday I'll be better, but for now I need to be silent. Now that Robyn and Kody are gone, the sister wives' world changed altogether. Christine's activism took her to Capitol Hill, speaking out against emotional abuse in high-control relationships. Mary's retreat program grew nationwide. Janelle wrote a best-selling book, Beyond the Tent, Financial Freedom After Polygamy, providing tools for women. Together, they created Strong Roots, a support center for individuals fleeing fundamentalist religions. TLC confirmed Sister Strong would conclude after Season 4 by design, as the women desired closure on their terms. The very last scene was unscripted. the three women on Mary's porch drinking coffee as the sun came up. Christine gazed out and stated, "You know what's ironic? We began this show as wives, but today, we're women." And the screen went dark. When a camera shut down, the commotion didn't fade, but for the first time it was respectful admiration for the Brown women. Christine transcended television personality to become a movement. Her TED Talk, Loving Loud, Healing After Hidden Abuse, accumulated over 18 million views. She spoke not with anger but with clarity, aligning with domestic violence agencies and starting a scholarship fund. Her romance with David Woolley became an epitome of healing. Not perfection, but still love that was quiet and stable, demanding nothing from her except honesty. Janelle, the quiet warrior, used her agony to empower herself. Her nonprofit Rise Up Strong spread to 14 states, serving over 1,200 women. Her second book, Polygamy's Price Tag, The Economics of Emotional Servitude, dissected how Brown family finances were manipulated to keep the women financially trapped while Robyn thrived. It was a New York Times #1 bestseller for 9 weeks. In interviews, Janelle was calm but resolute. "We were never partners, we were pawns, but not anymore." Mary's change was subtle but deeply traumatic. She opened a second retreat center offering reclamation weekends for women to write new endings to their stories. She signed a deal with Netflix to produce a limited series based on her memoir, The First Wife, narrated by her, emphasizing truth and rawness over performance. And Robyn Brown? Following the book fiasco, she went completely dark. Her name only trended once more when TMZ reported she legally changed her last name and relocated to a small town outside Boise, Idaho, living under an assumed name. Sources said she tried to contact her children, but only 2 replied. The others never returned a call. There would be no closing declaration, no apology, no confession. Robyn just disappeared. And maybe that ultimately was the most appropriate ending to a tale founded on illusions. Interestingly, Mary has recently been on TikTok, going live and addressing fan questions about her life after polygamy. She maintains that just because she got a divorce, it doesn't mean she hates the person or needs to spill all the tea. She defends not sharing every aspect of her life, saying that just because she doesn't speak about something doesn't mean she's not aware. She claims she did see what was happening with Kody and Robyn, but she chose not to speak immediately. She attributes Kody's behavior to a midlife crisis and says she gave him grace and space to figure things out, similar to how she needed space during her own moment in 2015.
Mary also acknowledges the strong emphasis on loyalty and commitment within their former system, suggesting that her adherence to those values kept her from walking away even when things were hard. She understands that outsiders can often see what's happening in a relationship, but if someone isn't ready to leave, nothing anyone says will make them. However, Mary seems bothered by Christine openly discussing her relationship with Kody with her new husband, David. Mary perceives this as talking trash or comparing. The host notes that Christine is a verbal processor trying to understand her past experiences through the lens of a monogamous relationship, which is different from what Mary interprets it as. The host also suggests that if Mary and Christine had not married the same man, they might have been best friends, as competition for Kody's attention often pitted the women against each other. Mary confirms she doesn't talk to Robyn anymore and misses Solomon, Robyn's son, with whom she was close. She admits it's difficult to be friends with an ex-husband's wife, especially when that wife enables the ex-husband's negative behavior towards you. The host speculates that Robyn would likely manipulate Mary or run back to Kody with anything Mary shared, making safety in that relationship impossible. Mary did tell Tamron Hall that there was a ton of tension with Robyn, more so than with anyone else. Sources further confirm Robyn's manipulative nature, noting her strong aversion to therapy, seeing it as a threat to her carefully crafted image. She showed clear jealousy of Christine, subtly asserting her position, and later avoiding accountability by skipping therapy sessions. Robyn consistently chose denial over transparency, even regarding a personality test that reportedly described her as someone who enjoys drama. She presented herself as fragile and helpless to gain Kody's sympathy, alienating others. It's alleged that Robyn didn't just benefit from the family breaking apart, she engineered it. She showed no remorse for Kody's estrangement from his children or for misusing family funds. Even a dramatic scene of her pleading with Kody to reconcile with his children was filmed after a major tragedy and intended to save face. She often displayed a persistent sense of entitlement, portraying herself as a misunderstood victim, but expecting others to adapt to her. Robyn also delayed selling her Vegas house, which benefited her financially, raising questions about fairness, especially if shared family funds were paying her mortgage while she built equity. Her late arrival to Logan's graduation was symbolic, reflecting a lack of respect and highlighting Kody's blatant favoritism towards her. Perhaps most damning, Kody's strict COVID restrictions weren't just about health. They were a calculated way to cut ties with the wives he didn't want anymore. Robyn played a key role in this. The rules were selectively enforced, tightening control over those being pushed away, with their nanny being allowed in despite the couple being home full-time while other family members were isolated. Ultimately, the rules were about control, not safety. Despite publicly claiming to want plural marriage, Robyn was actively pushing Kody to formally end his spiritual marriages with Christine and Janelle, desiring for him to be sealed only to her. She was pushing to shut the door on every other relationship, while simultaneously demanding others keep her name out of conversations. It was a stunning performance in contradiction cloaked in martyrdom. The sister wives phenomenon might be over, but what Christine, Janelle, and Mary created continues to have waves well beyond reality television. Their journey became a mirror for millions, reflecting the ruins of polygamy and patriarchal dominance, and inspiring the bravery to pursue freedom, no matter what it meant. As Christine wrote in her journal, "We waited so long to be picked by a man, by a system, by a world that defined love as sacrifice. But true love doesn't clip your wings, it lets you fly, and it flies along with you. We spoke the truth, we endured the lie, and now we live." This family's drama is far from over. Smash like if you're number Team Wives, subscribe for the next explosive update, and drop a comment below. Who do you think truly won? Stay shady, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next scandal.